Alright guys, I'm back with another Lazy Cthulhu VOD. This time we're going to take a look at his matchup versus Ken. This is one of the few times I saw that he lost yesterday, and so I want to just take a look at it. He's been doing great in general, but there are still always areas to improve, and this helps me think about my game, so yeah, let's just take a look. Okay. So the opening is a bunch of zoning, an attempt at counter zoning, and then a jump into a combo. So one thing that we can see here is that Ken's pretty committed to throwing fireballs. What if we throw OD fireball instead and use that to cover an approach? That's just something I want to point out. It's not that you made necessarily a bad decision. It was just a little bit riskier than it had to be. Eventually, the Kens will start shooting you out of the air at this range if you try and jump at them. But if you throw an OD fireball, you have a good shot of just getting in off the back of a dry rush. Remember also that your fireballs are not meant to do damage, they're meant to cover an approach. That's something that we're going to see isn't really happening here. Maybe we can be a little bit more liberal with our resources. So yeah, fireball, fireball, fireball. Tried to counter poke it with OD whip, but it doesn't work, but the jump works, so now we're good. Okay, that was probably one of the pivotal moments of this round. We're cornering, and we don't get the anti-air. We aren't throwing a bubble, we aren't doing anything, we're just slowly walking in, but we're not looking for the jump. So remember, the anti-air spacing is under the timer. So as we get right to the timer, we should be staring for that anti-air. We hit that anti-air, all of a sudden we have a lot more momentum, and things will get much easier for you if you're looking for those anti-airs. You know this, you've been talking about it on your stream, but that is a prime spot to look for the anti-airs right as you're cornering somebody. Let's go back a little bit and take a look at the follow-up sequence. Wails on you, you jump at him, this time he's ready with the DP, and you do a reversal DI here. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, okay. So, fireball, fireball, fireball. He does a meaty overhead. I don't believe this is actually DI-able on wake up. Looks like you're doing a fuzzy mash here. You're holding down back and trying to mash light punch. And so then after you get hit, you throw out your drive impact. This doesn't make a lot of sense in this situation because it's close range, because he's going to be doing either lights or throw, both of which he can use to beat DI with some consistency. We've seen this pattern yesterday with the Cami. So close range DIs are a big gamble, and it's something that we probably should try and take out of the repertoire. But we do see some great DIs in round 2, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so we get thrown. Now we're cornered by Ken. We're unhappy. Trying to poke out. He gets the jump in. Try to slide out. He gets the throw. You're losing RPS. That's just how it goes. He's poking you down. That was a nice idea. Throwing yourself out. Throwing yourself out with the shooty fingers. I don't know what it's called. But unfortunately, Ken still manages to grind you down. What else do we got? Let's take a quick look at round 2's round start. So last round we started with a bunch of fireballs, so this round we start with a jump. It's not the worst thing in the world. He starts with a heavy dragon lash. So you will just miss each other. He goes for the jump, you go for the jump, he hits his anti-air, you do not. Okay. But now we have a combo going. So Anti-aired. You get a nice little pressure sequence and you pick it up into your combo. These pressure sequences have been working for you. That DI was fantastic. Let's take another look at it. So we see crouch medium kick, fireball, and you interrupt the fireball with the DI. That is what we want to be DIing every time if we can. Obviously we can't react to the fireball and DI, but we can predict it because that's what Kens do, right? And let's take a look at this other DI. I really like this DI as well. You do your plus button. There's a decent chance he knows it's plus. You throw the DI behind it, he doesn't see it coming, and now you're just wailing on him in the corner, and you take the round. Great job, great job. Not too much damage, everything is fine, and then we go to round 3. We have super art. We should use it if we can. And let's see, he's spacing you out. Double bubble is risky because it's slow, and at that spacing, if he goes for the jump, he'll hit it. So consider either delaying or maybe going for a light chain or an OD bubble, because I believe OD bubble recovers a little bit faster. But yeah, we don't want to be getting hit with those jump-ins if we can avoid it, and that comes from predictability. Okay, good parry wake up, good counter sweep, we like that. Now we're just getting poked out. Go for a jump in, eat that, eat the level 3. Goes for a cross up, which is also a shimmy if we take a close look. Goes for cross up shimmy. Yep. Gets a throw off of it. Air to air, and a crouching light punch. This round there's not much to say. We just lost our rock, paper, scissors a lot. The opening salvo of Bubble Bubble was a little questionable, and at the end we go for a jump in that gets drive impacted, so maybe we stay on the ground, maybe we can do some safer approach options since we're not fully cornered, but either way, I think this is just one of those rounds that happens. Sometimes you're wrong and sometimes you get mauled. That's fighting games. All told, it's still a pretty good performance, especially in round 2. The only really big things that I am seeing is not using bubble to cover approach. That seems pretty significant. I'm seeing a big improvement in your drive impacts, with the exception of that one against his overhead meaty. But still, I really am liking what I'm seeing, even though we happen to lose here. We can lose these types of games. Let's take a look at the next one, see what happens next. Okay. And replay. We are back with game 2. And let's just see how it goes. Round start chain is bold. It can whiff, and if Ken was to do, say, drive rush heavy punch behind it, you might be eating that and all of a sudden be in the corner very close to dead. So be very careful with that. If you don't know what to do at round start, we have other options that are maybe a little bit less risky, or take a step in and go for the chain, or, you know, there are just options that could leave you less open at round start. You don't need to be gambling right out of the gate. And okay, so now we jump in, we throw a random DI at close range. Let's take another look at that jump in into DI sequence. Just throw it out there, hoping he does something that's unsafe to DI, which he hasn't shown a reason to. Now we're getting slowly pushed into the corner by Ken. Good jump over. I actually really liked the spacing on this. Knocks you back. Also, hang on, before you even get to that jump over, Look at this. That was fantastic. You parried his move, you drive rush in, you do a light punch. There's no real gaps for him to challenge this. He's not going to be able to react to it. It's 15 frames. Good luck trying to mash something on frame 11. I mean, maybe, but it'd be lucky. It wouldn't be skill, I think, at that point. And what else do we have? Tests. So yes, we are dry rushing in. We're doing some light punch stuff. We can maybe tick throw. We go for a low, and that works out. And then let's see what gets us that spacing that gives us that sweet, sweet jump out. Trade, you back up, looking for, I think, a jump in. He doesn't jump. He neutral jumps, and you jump over him. That was very clever, and look at how surprised Ken is. He's not happy. He's about to get kicked in the face. Good stuff, good stuff. Gentle pressure. That was a nicer DI. Let's see exactly what's going through Ken's mind while this is happening. Blocking, blocking, and then he tries to counter jab and he whiffs, and your DI gets him for it. So one more time. Poke, poke, poke. Counter jab, DI. Lit up. Now you're just wailing on him in the corner. Let's see if that bubble's justified. No, I don't think that bubble is justified. So we do a throw. We get our throw teched right here, and immediately go for bubble. Something I've seen is a main of is someone who mains Dulcim who has to anti-air with normals. If someone techs my throw, they're gonna jump at me. I know this in my bones. And so I won't throw a fireball necessarily. I'll probably just sit and wait and look for it and then snipe him out of the air. You should probably consider doing that as well, especially considering that he is cornered. You are still in an advantageous position even though your throw got teched. You don't need to try and re-establish yourself. You're established. He's trying to fix his problems. So yeah, that's just something that might be worth working into your autopilot. If your throw gets teched, look for the immediate anti-air. That's a good spacing for them to jump, but it's also a good spacing for you to shoot him out of the sky. And now he gets the hit. Quick little 3,000 damage for him. Now he's doing random drive impacts, and I think you're seeing that. We'll see more as we get through the rest of these rounds. So let's see. Jump. Wailing on him. Good jump in. What did you counter hit? Maybe like a... Yeah, he was doing a EX Hadouken. So yeah, you counter hit him out of that, you get your burnout. Let's see if we get any mileage out of it. No, we just back off, which I think is a little too passive. You're in the driver's seat now with it. Let's take a quick look at our meter. We're at full meter. If we can touch him in dry rush, then all of a sudden he's going to be in a really uncomfortable spot, and he's going to be taking a lot of chip damage from our safe or plus special moves. So that means we can do like, I don't know. Let's take a quick look back. So there we go. We do a standing light punch. We could do standing light punch, sliding light punch, drive rush, standing light punch into, I don't know, bubble or flip or stance legs or whatever you want. There's all sorts of wonderful options that you have now that you're using burnout. But instead we back off, and it looks like we're backing off looking for the anti-air that doesn't come out. Yeah, we're still mashing light punch, which I don't love. We're not even trying to hit stand heavy kick, which at this spacing, sorry, at that spacing, standing heavy kick should work just fine. And so yeah, we're backing off like we're looking for an anti-air, but then the jump comes and we are not ready. So that's something to really consider. Okay, good, good. He's getting off counter pokes, and I don't think he should be able to. I think we really need to be tightening up that pressure, grinding him down, and then looking to end this round with a level 1 super chip out. That's a potentially strong option for us, but that's just also something that we just started talking about today with the burnout mechanisms. Mechanics, not mechanisms. And so then, yeah, round ends, we whiff, he punishes us, we die. That's how it goes. If we tighten up our burnout pressure, I think we're going to be in a lot better spot. This round goes really well. We open with a nice little round start jump, run our basic pressure sequence, get a hit, start closing in on the corner. That was a good sweep from Ken. I wanted to highlight this. We're doing the little Street Fighter, little Street Fighter back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The Ken's just like, nah. Tags you right in the legs, gets his jump in, and he's off to the races. So that's the reason I'm pointing that out, is that's what sweep is for. I saw in some other games today you're using sweep in like corner pressure and whatnot. That's not what it's for. It's for tagging people for doing the Street Fighter shuffle. Great pressure. That Oki choice was a little silly, but not the end of the world. We go into stance for some reason instead of doing anything else. Let's take a quick look again. Yeah, we're in stance, he pokes us. And you're mashing DI, which isn't the worst thing, it works out. You're at that range where they want to throw a fireball and you manage to get the punish counter for it. Now we do our little combo. Now we're just doing pressure. Next touch should kill. There we go. Good round, all things considered. Yeah, that was really all I had, was just the pressure and being on the lookout for good opportunities to sweep. Round start, heavy dragon lash. You're standing perfectly. You're basically just doing the Street Fighter shuffle. And I think if you're going to be doing that, especially versus someone like Ken who's just going to try and skip neutral on you, he's shown this before in game 1. If you're going to be doing the Street Fighter shuffle, you might as well be hovering your finger over the drive impact button and trying to drive impact him out of his heavy dragon lash if he goes for it. If he doesn't go for it, then it's fine. But if he does, you might as well be prepared for it while you're also looking for jump ins and whatnot. He gets us with a throw, but we reestablish ourselves with that good neutral jump. Good. You're just maintaining contact with your chains. Good. So right here, he does his fireball sequence and you do an immediate chain back. Something I've noticed with shotos, especially after a fireball sequence, if you're at like that spacing where their jumping medium kick is going to connect, they're going to jumping medium kick a lot of the time, so it could be worth building into your mind to look for the anti-air there. Chain is a bit committal, just in the context of those shotos who love to jump forward. You know the types, the Kens and the Ryus especially. So he gets the jump in, but he doesn't do too much with it. You poke him, he does a DI, gets you in the corner. He's just beating on you, pushing you out. You're re-establishing yourself very nicely with that chain as he was running into you. I like that. And then you jump at him, get the counter DI, Nice little combo for it. Will we spend level 3? No, but I'm not sure if that's the route that we could spend level 3 on. I plan on actually doing a little bit of lab work just to see if that's the case. Okay. So what happens here? We get everything we want in the world. We start to approach. That's that same drive impact. The exact same ones. He hits you with the overhead. He's point blank. He's gonna be mashing lights, or maybe throwing you, and we choose drive impact. And whoop! Now we're in the corner. Things are all of a sudden terrible. We get the jump over. Get some CthulhuAKI. We're gonna run our corner pressure. Good try to punish the sweep. And he doesn't punish us back, so we take those. Can't get out. You get the jump. He goes for the drive impact. You counter DI, and he's super duper dead. All told, pretty good job. The DI decision making still needs work, obviously. But all told, pretty solid. I want to put in your mind that OD Fireball to cover your approach versus these shotos is something that you should consider. And Fireball in general, remember, is only to cover your approach. It's not to hit them. It's not to make them hold still. It's to cover an approach. Or if you really want to try and look for an anti-air, you're welcome to do that as well. But just throwing out fireballs is a good way to get jumped in on. So just be cautious and consider using OD Fireball a lot more. Otherwise, all told, really good match. Unfortunately, there's not a game 3. I think the Ken had enough after you showed that you could blow up his DI, so that was wonderful. But yeah, have a great stream today, and I'll be hopefully watching in chat unless I'm asleep. Alright, talk to you guys later.